So my proposal, as in what we need to do, is get youth interacting with one another, stop the isolation through schools, community, and religion, improved parenting, involvement awareness, getting them help if they need it, clarity of labels, help those in need of employment and give them a chance to start over. Instead of throwing someone behind bars or an extreme punishment, we should try to understand where they are coming from and what their life is like, because you don't know what someone is going through. So another sub-theory of resolutions is restorative justice and peacemaking criminology. So break the cycle of violence and offer resources or programs to help them succeed, which I believe Ceasefire did. But something that I do feel where Ceasefire may fail also is when Flamo was getting upset because they took his mother and his brother to jail. You know, he was telling the violence instructor, well, what are you going to do? You're going to get my mom out of jail? What's going to happen with my brother? Like, what's going to happen with everything else? Like, he was becoming too dependent. And I feel like a violence interrupter and the program altogether is only allowed to do so much before, you know, going to that type of situation. There's not much they can do. You know, and I feel like with Flamo, he was becoming upset because he was expecting him to be able to do more. And it's like, you know, that also is where it might fail, because then they'll probably be like, well, I can't have faith in this because I can't have faith in you because you can't really solve my problems. You can't really make my life better. So I feel like that it's also where it can fail. Justice is for victims, but offender and victim should be able to make amends in a controlled environment, like Mikey did with his victims. And Ceasefire allowed that to happen. He actually went and took Mikey over there to, I think, the barbershop, and was allowed to apologize and explain how he felt, and was able to, you know, the lady was able to forgive him, and hopefully he was sincere and able to really turn his life around. And from the looks of it, he did. Increase education for both parties, the victim and the offender. The goals: reduce recidivism, restore community strength and relationships, bring satisfaction to those involved. And I feel like Ceasefire is trying to do that. You know, trying to, they got them, they want to hold on to them. You know, like, don't go back out there, don't do those same things. And I feel like with Little Mikey, that happened. And with Flamo, you know, Flamo got a job, and it seemed like he was, you know, trying to do it the right way. And I feel like that is also, you know, allowed for that to happen. Reduce divert costs to the criminal justice system by removing parties from the system. I think Ceasefire, I don't know if Ceasefire was really able to do that, but there was a problem because law enforcement was feeling like Ceasefire was keeping information from them, like hiding defenders, or just keep upholding information, and it was possible that, you know, the people might have felt like, no, you're going to turn me in to the cops, or whatever the case. And the whole purpose of Ceasefire is, like one of the violence interrupters said, you know, we're just trying to keep it neutral. Like, we're not trying to be on anybody's side. We're just trying to keep it to where we're maintaining the peace, basically. And I feel like that could be a problem though also, because they felt that way. But then again, you know, they're trying to remain neutral. And this is the thing, that it's like this, the CJ system was trying to remove parties from the system, but at the same time, I kind of feel like, is the criminal justice system really trying to do that, or are they trying to keep people in the system? I don't really know about that, but I feel like, you know, breaking the cycle of violence, offering these resources, offering these programs, building relationships, you know, I feel like this is what it needed. And it can be successful, and it's going to depend on the individual themselves in order for this to succeed the way that I see that it has the potential to. You know, and if, you know, people are like, it's not going to work, whatever the case, you know, it's opening the doors, and it's starting something, and it's allowing for that type of communication and those kind of relationships to start. And I feel like that's overall what's important. And, you know, I think that with the social process theory, everyone can become more vulnerable to obviously criminality because of, you know, the various organizations and institutions. But like I said, I feel like Ceasefire is a positive institution and organization for these people to come. And, you know, it's not like, no, a specific person can't come. You know, anyone can really come. But I feel like it's a positive stimuli, and people just need to give it the chance to do what I feel like it can do in a person's life, in anyone's life, in that type of situation and in that kind of environment.